Be strong, be you, be a Ninja Babe.
I'm your host, Kara Palillo, and you're listening to the Ninjababes podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm stoked to have you with us on this episode. There's some new happenings with Ninjababes. If you go to www.theninjababes.com, it'll take you to the landing page, which has some great links like the online store, podcast, social media outlets like Instagram and Facebook. But there's this one wondrous little button called Keep in Touch, and this is what I want to tell you about. So from this Keep in Touch button, when you click on it, you can sign up for email blasts. Now, what is an email blast, you say? No, I'm not spamming you. This is access to a special project that me and 10 other ninjas have been working on. It's exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. These videos are made for the Ninjababes community by the Ninjababes community. And this project is launching in tandem with the full release of the Ninjababes website, which will be happening later this spring. In this project, Ninjababes from all over the country have teamed together to bring you one-of-a-kind encouragement, teaching, and goodness to brighten your day. We'll be talking more about the email blasts as it gets closer, but get your name on that email list if you haven't yet already, and then you'll be in the know about when the project will release and all of the excitement that will come along with it. Today, you'll hear from me and Maura Sherman. Maura, hey, welcome to my apartment, and welcome to this episode of the Ninjababes podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in my apartment right now, and it's Friday, so happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Friday in February, and when this podcast airs, it will be March, but it'll still be Friday, so the happy Friday vibes carry over.
Exactly. Any Friday is a good Friday.
Let's grab some Maura facts before we dive in.
I'm from New Rochelle, New York, right outside of New York City. I was a dancer for about 20 years growing up, and I was on my college kickline team at Binghamton University. For those who don't know, kickline is a combination of dancing and synchronized kicking, similar to the Rockettes. We were the halftime show at every home basketball game. I got involved in Ninja about 4 years ago in 2014. I was spending a lot of time traveling to support my boyfriend Henry in his ninja training. He's competed on seasons 6, 7, and 9. One day, I just decided to try it myself and realized it was basically a big playground for adults, and more importantly, a really fun community.
Hey, I'm here with the lovely Maura Sherman, and I'm so excited, Maura, to hear all about your life and what you have to tell me about Ninja for a Cure and everything that's going on in your world right now.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and do this. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, I feel like a lot of people know you from Ninja for a Cure and everything that you and Henry are doing, but I know that I personally don't really know how you guys got started and the whole story behind it.
Yeah, so my boyfriend Henry Ferrarin, his mother is a breast cancer survivor, and he competed on American Ninja Warrior Season 6. And after that, he wanted to use his platform on American Ninja Warrior for something bigger than himself, bigger than athletics, and he wanted to tie in doing something positive for breast cancer with his ninja platform. So he decided to start Ninja for a Cure, which is a ninja charity that is partnered with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And about 2 years ago this time, we met with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which is the #1 highest rated breast cancer charity in the country. They donate 91% of funds directly to research and awareness programs, and 91% is really, really high if you do the research and look at other places. We decided to make t-shirts. We designed a t-shirt together, and at the National Ninja League Season 1 finals, we launched these t-shirts to the community and got this overwhelming positive reaction from the community. Everybody came together and started buying t-shirts and supporting, and it was just so amazing. The special thing about these shirts is each one is $20, and $10 from each shirt goes directly to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And the funds don't only come from the shirt sales. With your shirt, you can do something to raise even more money. We've been doing a social media Instagram video addition to our Ninja for a Cure shirts. So we've been asking to make Ninja for a Cure videos with your shirt. So what a Ninja for a Cure video is is it has to fit within the length of Instagram. So now it's 60 seconds. Back then it was actually only 15 seconds. Yeah. So it got a lot better.
Bonus.
So you wear your Ninja for a Cure shirt and you just basically do anything in your shirt. Tell us how you ninja for a cure. So you would say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and this is how I ninja for a cure. You do something athletic or even non-athletic. We've had someone make a Ninja for a Cure video in a hair salon or basically anywhere. It's amazing to see what creative things people come up with in their Ninja for a Cure shirts. And when we repost your video on Instagram, Henry donates an extra $5 out of his own pocket to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So each shirt has the potential of donating $15 from the $20 purchase. So that's $10 awesome. From the shirt plus the $5 Instagram video.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Henry donates an extra $5 from his own pocket. I had no idea. I knew people made the videos with the shirts, but I didn't know there was an extra $5 donated. That's incredible.
Yeah, so not only does it raise extra money, but it's fun. People have been saying, I'm so excited to make my Ninja for a Cure video, and everyone's been doing different, really creative things. And these Ninja for a Cure videos are being done by people of all ages. We've had someone as young as 4 years old.
No.
Do a Ninja for a Cure video. We don't have youth sizes at the time, so this 4-year-old boy was wearing a gigantic shirt as a dress doing his video, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
So I heard you're actually launching a brand new shirt with brand new artwork, and by the time our listeners are hearing this, it'll already be out. You're calling it Ninja for a Cure 2.0, and this shirt is $30, and $15 from each shirt will go to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Tell me more about this shirt.
We are going to continue the video campaign with these new 2.0 shirts, and another $5 are going to be donated with your video. So for those who have already done a Ninja for a Cure video with their original shirt, now have an opportunity to do a brand new video with their brand new shirt. And we're really excited to see all of these videos.
Wow, that's great to know. And I'm so excited to watch them too. I can't wait to make mine. I'm like sitting over here brainstorming what I can do.
Yeah, and it's been really cool seeing how Ninja for a Cure has inspired other ninjas in the community to be doing other things that are good for the world as well. There's other ninja charities that we've seen coming out all around the country. Just recently, the Neighborhood Ninjas, I know you're a part of that as well, which is really awesome. We've had Sean Darling Hammond, which is a good friend of ours, contact us and say, wow, I love what you're doing with Ninja for a Cure. It's really inspired me to do something bigger as well. And I know Neighborhood Ninjas are also doing something with videos, so it's just a really fun concept. And Henry and I made our Neighborhood Ninja video, and it's just fun to watch all the videos that come out.
Yeah. Well, I think Ninja for a Cure has a cool milestone coming up soon, right?
Yes. So we originally launched at the National Ninja League Season 1 finals. Now we're coming around to the National Ninja League Season 3 finals in Atlanta just in a few days.
Yeah.
And we are getting our 2.0 shirts in this week. So we will be having our kind of 2-year anniversary, I guess you can say, by coming out with a brand new design. And I will say that April Beckner, Drew Dreschel's girlfriend, had a huge part in this. She actually thought of the idea for the new logo. She's super creative. She helped draw it. So we're excited for that.
That's really cool. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I didn't even know that April draws.
It's just cool to see how Ninja for a Cure is not just Henry and I. It's a little bit of everybody from the community, whether you're supporting by wearing a shirt, giving us ideas for designs, and also a major part of our fundraising has come from events from the community. The community has been contacting us wanting to do different events for us. And we've had people from someone right in our community, Henry's boss, just decided he wanted to raise money for us and hold an event. Someone who randomly saw Henry on the show contacted him, just every walk of life. It's amazing to see how people from the community want to jump in and help out with these events. And the events have been raising a lot of money for Ninja for a Cure as well. Actually, one of our good friends, Tyler, he's 16 years old. He has a course in his backyard, and for the past 2 summers, he's organized all on his own a Ninja for a Cure competition to raise money for us. And I think that's so amazing because he's only in high school, and he did this all out of the goodness of his own heart. He worked really hard, and he raised a lot of money for us. And we actually met a lot of people through that event and through all our other events. Someone named Eric Totten, who actually just came out with his own ninja training hold line, Monstro holds. So we're really excited to be partnering up with him, and he's going to be creating some cool pink things for us, which we're really excited to train on.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Eric is so creative with his ideas, and he's so innovative just with the holds that he creates and everything. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
He's making me a custom little ninja rig in my apartment.
Oh, cool.
So you get to see the before and after because there's nothing there yet, but I can't wait for him to come in here and build everything. I'm really excited.
That's so exciting. Yeah, he's been making really creative holds. He's been taking logos, and it's amazing to see what he can do and make holds out of, what shapes he can make holds out of that you would never think could be a hold.
Yeah, and then even crazier to then play on them and try to get some good grip on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Recently, I was able to go over to the Monstro workshop and not only see how holds are made, but pick out colors for my own holds for my apartment. I am thrilled. Eric is great about custom orders, so if you want something made that you don't see on the site, shoot an email over to the Monstro team and they will be happy to help bring your dreams to life. We're just a few days away from NNL Finals, Season 3.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, but have, some butterflies too. It's my first time going to NNL Finals, and I just don't really know what to expect, but it's just going to be like a giant NNL comp, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing as any other NNL comp. It's just with more people, and it's more fun because there's more people.
Yeah.
So
I always feel like events like this are like camp. I'm just excited to see everybody and just hang out and have a good time.
Yeah. No matter what happens, it's just going to be a fun time. Yeah. And it's out of town, so it's an excuse to travel and see other parts of the country. So that's always fun.
It's ironic because this episode will be airing in March, so we don't know what's going to happen at NNL Finals. But for all of you listening, it's already happened, so you do already know. Me and Maura are sitting here not knowing how it's going to go yet.
We'll see.
We'll see. This isn't your first time competing, though. You were on American Ninja Warrior Season 8?
Yes.
How was that?
It was really fun. It was just a fun time. It was just basically a surreal experience. That's probably what everybody says, but it's true. Basically, the entire night was just a blur.
I feel like I've heard similar things, though, from other girls I've talked to. It's just like, it all just happens, and maybe your run was, maybe you had a good run, or maybe you had a short run. It's just like, everyone says it's awesome, but it's just like, what? It happened and it's over.
Yeah, so basically, Season 8 in Philadelphia, when you get there, you actually don't know when you're going to run. So you could be running anytime from 9 p.m. all the way till 4 a.m. And when I got there, they gave me number 11. And, you're kind of hoping that you have a little bit more time to prepare and watch other competitors, because as a ninja, usually it's the later you run, the more advantage you have. And being how my run went, it might have helped if I saw a few more runners to see how the obstacles reacted. But I wound up making it to the 4th obstacle, which I was pretty excited about because it was further than I thought I was going to go. Obviously, I would have rather went further, but it was still just an amazing experience. I mean, to this day, it was definitely the best experience of my life to date. Definitely, wow. For sure. It's just a really fun time. And to connect it back to the National Ninja League, that definitely helped me prepare for Ninja Warrior in the sense of mental strength, because my biggest struggle is nerves and performing under pressure. And Season 8 was right at the end of NNL Season 1. So I had just come off of the whole season of competing. That made a huge difference when it came to nerves with standing up on the starting platform on the show, because you're nervous, but when you look out into the audience, even though it's a little different, there's cameras, there's water, there's lights, just a few little extra things there. But when I looked out into the audience, it's the same people cheering that have been cheering all season, all year, my whole ninja life. Yeah. So that definitely brought a sense of calm. So the National Ninja League is definitely amazing, and any kind of ninja competition is amazing to train your mind to perform under pressure.
I didn't think about the fact that, yeah, you're right, it is the same exact people who are there. So even if you're on camera or you're in somebody's backyard, it's the same community, the same cheering crowd, your friends, like your fellow competitors. I say this all the time, but I feel like your competitors are also your biggest fans. And It's like you're there for each other no matter what. Even if you're competing and like trying to do your best, you're still just there to have fun and support each other.
Exactly. Because even though you're technically competing against other people, you're standing up there completely alone. It's you and the course. It's you versus the course. Yeah. Everybody's battling the same course. So somebody that might have fallen on an obstacle, even though you're competing against them, and if they go farther than you're in competition, you still all want to see somebody beat the course. So you want to see someone conquer an obstacle that you failed on, which I think is something that's completely unique to Ninja Warrior when it comes to competition.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's what makes Ninja so unique, is that we all have that feeling of like, we're all in this together.
Right.
Like, we're learning from each other, we're supporting each other. And I think that's why we're also hooked on Ninja, because it's like a lifestyle. It's something that we all are such huge proponents of, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
How has your training changed over the years as you've learned more and just grown as a person and as a ninja?
When I first started, I could barely do a pull-up. I couldn't do anything upper body. I have a dance background, so I didn't come from a lot of athletic, upper body, muscly stuff. Now I have a little more strength, and that's cool. I also know from doing this for a while, I know what my weaknesses are and I know what I need to work on. So I definitely have been focusing on my weaknesses a lot more, because the more you do it, the more you see what you need to work on. So that's definitely been something that's changed, because now I have a more clear vision of what I need to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the first time I tried to do like a dead hang from a bar, and I just remember the pain. I was like, why do my hands hurt? Like, my palms are screaming. Like,
yep.
It was so surreal. And now, then after some time you start building up calluses, and it's just the most bizarre thing. And especially because, I've done a lot of modeling, and usually I want my hands to look really pretty. And then when I started Ninja, I was like, there's no chance of me ever showing my hands to a designer ever again. And so it's like changed the way that I look at like castings and things now, because I'm like, is this something that they're really going to want to see my arms? They're going to want to see my bruises, And so it's just like, it's interesting in that way. But Ninja has changed so much about just how I even present myself, because Ninja really takes over your life. I got a manicure a few days ago, and I felt like I had to explain myself to the woman who was going to work on my hands. I was like, I know I have all these scars and calluses. Let me just tell you why.
Yep. Yeah, ever since I started rock climbing, I just kind of said goodbye to the idea of manicures, because they don't really last very long anymore.
So true.
Yeah. The people at the nail salon are always commenting about how my nails are really short, and because I guess they're used to people wanting their nails long and square, and they say square or round, and I'm just like, I don't have enough to do either of those, so just paint them, I guess, whatever's there.
Yeah. The girl who did my nails a couple days ago, when she asked me that question, she answered it herself. She was like, I guess you want them short for what you do. I was like, yes, thank you for understanding and respecting me. I think one thing that you already mentioned is just about how important the mental focus is. I feel like that's been a game changer for me. Just being able to recognize where maybe sometimes I'm setting myself up for failure. If I'm a very visual person, so sometimes when I come to an obstacle that intimidates me, if I look at it and automatically let my brain see myself failing, like 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna fail. But if I can get there and say like, okay, I accept the fact that this is a challenge, but I can see myself succeeding, then most of the time I get it and it's awesome, and then I know that I can do it and can move forward. What's your experience been with that?
That's actually something I feel really strongly about, is that you can go to the gym 7 days a week. You can have the biggest muscles, you can lift the heaviest weights and be super strong physically, but if your mental focus is off, it is not going to matter how strong you are. It is make or break. Physical strength is important for Ninja Warrior, but mental strength is just as important, because you have to be performing under pressure. You have to trust your body that you can do the things that you are faced with. Even if deep down you don't think you can, you need to be telling yourself that you can. Because the second that you start doubting yourself and saying that you're going to fail, the odds are you are going to fail. If you tell yourself that you can do something, your chances of completing it are going to go way up. It's night and day difference.
Yeah.
The way that you talk to yourself. I mean, I have definitely struggled majorly with mental focus, self-confidence, and trying to be confident in facing an obstacle, because a lot of obstacles are about commitment as opposed to strength. Usually it's becoming a fourth obstacle this year or the last few years, but usually the third obstacle in Ninja Warrior is balance, that agility, that speed where you have to just basically commit. And that's mostly mental, in my opinion. And that's super important. If you don't get past those kind of obstacles, you're not going to get to the fun, strong upper body stuff. So that mental commitment and that focus and that positive mindset, telling yourself that you have to just trust your body, trust your training, and just go for it. It is amazing when you see that actually paying off. When you're telling yourself, it is make or break whether you're going to get through something or not.
Yeah, I completely agree because I've experienced that. I've lived that. And sometimes you kick yourself when you realize that you didn't commit, or even in the moment you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna really grab this bar, and then you fall and you're like, why didn't I just commit to it? So it's really interesting because 2 episodes ago when I was interviewing Jessie Graff, she actually has kind of like what some people might think of a backwards approach to looking at it, because she'll actually see an obstacle that's hard and tell herself that she's not capable of doing it, but it works to her advantage. She has a very logical brain, and so she'll look at something and say, there's no way I could do this, but it actually forces her to focus really hard and really think about the mechanics and the more logical, problem-solving, analytical end of things. So for her, that actually causes her to focus really hard, and then she can do it. But I think for the general public, it's not that way. And so when we were discussing it, I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because that's something that I need to work on, is my analytical brain when I'm looking at an obstacle, is being able to pick things apart and recognize the angle I have to come in at something, or how I need to propel my hips upward, or whatever it's going to be to achieve that specific goal. And I think that Jessie's really good at seeing specific details. Jessie's really good at being able to objectively look at obstacles and just use logic to figure out how it's going to work out the best for her. Like, whereas some of us, we really need to step on the platform and convince ourselves that we can do it and just commit and know that maybe we can't, maybe we can, but we're going to commit to the fact that we can, and then we'll succeed. A lot of us tend to just doubt ourselves or have those moments of just lack of confidence. And so it's interesting to see the different sides of it. Some of us really need to hone in on that logic and look at it that way. And some of us really need to connect with ourselves emotionally and mentally and convince ourselves that we can set ourselves up for success in that way.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, I remember in ANW 9 in Daytona watching Jessie on the course. It was amazing to see her beta, how she was the first person to figure out a more efficient way to get through the 8th obstacle, which was those cubes. It was like a rock climbing problem. Everybody was trying to do a catback from one cube to another, and when she ran the course, she was the first person to figure out the spider situation. I know not everybody is as flexible as her, so it might not have worked out the same way for everyone else, but it was just amazing to see the way that she interprets obstacles and her beta, and she does everything in a very well thought out way, and you can really tell that she puts a lot of thought into every single obstacle that she faces.
Yeah, and Jessie Graff, if you're listening, you can correct me if we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure that just, the way that she's told me about her thought process before, it's like she can watch everyone else and really take into account what they're doing, maybe what's tripping them up or what they're excelling at on that specific obstacle, and then because of her brain, in the last episode I was saying she has like a Sherlock Holmes brain. She's able to really see something and pull it apart, and with her stunt background and everything, she's able to just look at it in such a way that she can figure out what is going to be the best outcome for her specifically. And I think that's something that's so important, is to realize what your own strengths and weaknesses are and realize how you need to specifically set yourself up for success. And I think Jessie's a great example of knowing how to set herself up for success. And for me, it's something like when I step on the platform, I need to convince myself that I can do it. Because a lot of times I've been in situations before where, I'll get onto an obstacle and it's like going well, but then I'll like get to a point that makes me feel like, oh, this next part's going to be challenging, or it kind of intimidates me in some way. Sometimes I feel myself like in the moment being like, I don't know if I can do this, and then I fall off. But it's that commitment factor. It's being able to clear your head and just focus in and being like, I'm committing to this because I can do it, and get there.
Yeah, you're definitely a lot more capable of what you think you're capable of. And sometimes it just takes a little switch of your thought process to make a difference with whether or not you can do something.
Absolutely. And it's cool too. I know you work in a school, and so you see kids a lot. When I interpret, sometimes I'm in schools as well, and so I see girls that are younger, and I can remember what it's like to be in that state of just like comparing yourself to others. Or for me, it was always like seeing girls in magazines or seeing other women on TV who I want to look like them. I want to be like them. And I don't have older sisters in my family. I just have brothers. And then instead I would look to girls in magazines to be that beacon of what I wanted to look like. You know, want to be thinner, want to be a certain type of pretty, or sometimes feeling bad about myself because I was comparing my body or comparing the way I looked or even the clothes that I had, just comparing, you know, as girls do, but comparing every little piece of myself to other girls and women that I saw. So then as I grew up, it was so important to be able to find value in myself and understand that life wasn't about just comparing myself to somebody else, but it was about honoring my own body and loving my own self for who I am and finding value in me. The discipline of being able to just focus on myself and not compare myself to anyone else and just focus on my own beauty and my own self-esteem so carries over into Ninja, because it's so important to just be able to focus on my own journey in fitness and in the ninja world and not being comparing myself to another athlete and causing a negative disposition on myself because I'm looking at what they can do and what I can't do. And focus on your own values, your own priorities, and what it means to be uniquely you.
I 100% agree with that. It's really important to focus on your own personal progression as opposed to comparing yourself to other people's progression, because everybody has their own path, their own story, and you don't know where someone else came from. And everybody started somewhere, and you have to just focus on your own personal goals and your own personal celebrations and accomplishments. And that, I think, is really important when you first start, because it's easy to come in to somewhere and look at someone else that's been doing something for a long time and you've never seen what they've gone through and just see the good parts of everything. And it's easy to compare yourself to someone else and say, oh, they could do this, but I can't do that. And you never know where somebody started. And it's really, the cool thing about Ninja Warrior is to see how far you've come from when you started. When I did my first ninja competition back, I think it was actually at Michelle Warnke's local climbing gym in Ohio. That was my first time attempting ninja. There was not one other girl doing the competition, and I drove all the way across the country with Henry, just planning on supporting him there. I had no plans to do anything Ninja Warrior. I luckily had sneakers, and that was it. So there was not one other girl at that competition, and someone offered that I try it, and I said, hey, why not? I wasn't focusing on the other females that I had to beat. I wasn't trying to place. I wasn't trying to win anything. I literally just did it because it was fun and it was something to play on, and I didn't focus on anybody else because, again, I was the only girl there. It was I didn't know what I was doing, and it was fun. So that's really the only way that you're going to get anywhere, I think, because if you are just focusing on someone else, it's really hard to make improvements on yourself and recognize all of the good that you're doing for yourself and where you came from and where you're going.
Yeah, well said, Maura. Absolutely, I agree. And it's funny how, like, ninja is such an analogy for life.
Exactly.
Because it's the same thing. It's like, if I can focus on myself and focus on the good things that I can contribute to life, to my world, I'm going to be so much more successful than if I'm trying to be like someone else or if I'm getting caught up in what I'm not doing like so-and-so.
I work in a middle school, and I see that's like the prime age where you are developing your sense of identity, and I see the girls that are following the trends and I all of that stuff that goes on, and I just want to go up to them and say, listen, none of this stuff is going to matter when you get older, when you get out of school. You need to be focusing on yourself and everything that you have to offer, and you are never going to be another person. You're only going to be yourself for your whole life. It's impossible to become another person. It's great to have role models. So that I would say is a good thing, is to, if you're going to be looking at somebody else, you should be using it in a positive way and aspiring to be the positive things in another person and allowing someone else to impact you in a positive way. But if you're constantly comparing yourself, wanting to be like somebody else in a way that's unrealistic, it's unhealthy in my opinion. So it makes such a big difference to just focus on yourself and celebrate everything that you've accomplished, because there's a lot that you probably don't even know that other people see in you.
Yeah, agreed. And it's like when you're able to focus on yourself, you're able to foster like the gifts and the talents that you have that if you're looking at someone else who doesn't have those things, you're never going to develop those things in yourself because you're not even giving yourself the opportunity.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. There's days where I'm really hard on myself and I'm feeling like I didn't do a good job at something, and then someone can come up to me and say something that they noticed that I wasn't even paying attention to, or someone can come up and give me a compliment saying, I've been following you, I really am inspired by you. And for me, I had no idea that anything that I was doing was even affecting anybody else, and it's just really cool to actually see that you can have a good effect on someone else. Yeah, so because I was at a competition the other weekend and I made a really silly mistake. I DQ'd myself by walking on the carpet from one obstacle to another.
Oh, no.
I got through the actual obstacle, but I didn't listen to the rules very well. Listen to the rules at every comp you go to, everybody that's listening. It's really important.
Always.
And, someone came up to me at the end of that competition and just gave me a big compliment. And she wanted to let me know that I really inspired her. And she follows me online and sees my videos. And I was completely in a zone where I was getting down on myself for my performance at the competition. But it was just crazy to see the perspective that someone else is looking at you in a completely different way than you're looking at yourself.
Well, Maura, I think you're an awesome person, and I'm really glad that you've been on the show with me today. It's been great just get to know you more, and I'm so happy that you're, in my region, in my zone, because I feel like ninjas are so spread out all over the country. And here, I'm in Jersey, Maura's in New York State, but it's we're just kind of a hop and a skip over Manhattan, through the Bronx. Just a bridge away. And so many ninjas are in South Jersey, or just epically far. But anyways, it's been awesome having you on the show. Thank you so much for sharing your insight and your love for the sport and your love for Ninja for a Cure and everything. It's really awesome to hear.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really love what you're doing with the Ninjababes and just having a place for women to come together. And as I said before, when I started doing this, there was not really many other women around. So it's really, really cool to have this community of other people to share this with. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you would like a Ninja for a Cure shirt,
yes,
make sure you go to www.ninjaforacure.com and click the shirts tab.
Yep, and if they want to get a shirt and then make a video, they should tag.
So make sure to tag at Ninja for a Cure and hashtag Ninja for a Cure. So this way we can see it and we can repost it and get that extra $5 donation in your honor.
Yes. Awesome. Can't wait to see those videos. It's over. Don't forget to head on over to monsterholds.com and use code Ninjababes for 15% off your order. It's your place to find some of the most current and innovative ninja holds that you can't find anywhere else. So Maura, if people want to contact you personally or learn more about you and your journey, where can they go?
So my Instagram handle is at NinjaMaurior, NinjaMaurior. Little play on words there.
Perfect.
Thank you guys. I'm looking forward to meeting and connecting with all the Ninjababes out there.
Yes. Me too.
Internet things.
The interwebs.
The interwebs.